Hello, everyone. This is George, and I would like to welcome you to another episode of the Tandem Trail. Today's episode is about a park that we love, the Garden of the Gods. Dan and I really love that place because it is magical, it's mesmerizing. That right here on the screen is we are entering the park at the moment. That's the east gate to the park, and what we actually see over here. This is the south gate rock that you see here. So right next to it, with a little more red and brownish color, that is the Tower of Babel, and we're going to go over it, beside it in a moment. Really popular. It used to be popular among climbers. It's a nice place. This park is at the western part of Colorado Springs, and it offers fantastic um, trails for walking, hiking, different, probably well over 30 trails that are over an hour and a half, and it's really popular among not only the Coloradans, but there are people who are traveling to come here. What you see right here in the left corner, and we're going to go just around it, is also the north gate rock that we just passed between. That's to the left at the moment is the Tower of Babel, and the North Gate Rock is to the right. You can't see it here. There's one of the parkings in the park, and from that parking, actually, there are quite a lot of trails that start, and not only trails that are for hiking or walking, but also there is horse riding trails, bike trails. Really popular park for all the activities that you have here. I am not going to bother you or bore you with information how the park was created, uh, 250 million years ago. This is red um, limestone, and red sandstone, and this kind of color is really popular for Colorado. Um, Let me just tell you that in front is the sleeping giant rock formation. You can't really see it from here. You only see a portion of it because the figure is the sleeping giant is actually lying on his back, and there will be shots that I'm going to show you that fantastic rock formation. So the park is red sandstone, and in the years, those type of rock formation is kind of unique for this part of the world. I mean, we have them here, some in New Mexico, quite a lot in Utah as well. Um, Really unique. The color is unimaginable because it's both red, terracotta, but red and brown. And by the way, that's how the name of Colorado is. Colorado means colored in red. Um, the park has been established as a park in the late 1800s. It was purchased by so how it started. It's really interesting. By the way, you can see the giant, and certain parts of his anatomy are showing up, and you can see the chin, and the forehead, and little more things down. So the park. So when Colorado Springs was established in 1876, um, that one of the key elements there was the Denver and Rio Grande Railroad that passed through the city. So one of the executives of the railroad executive, called Charles Eliot Perkins, purchased a really large piece of land because he thought of a couple of things. Number one, that place was magical. Number two, it was already a sacred place for all the indigenous tribes here. So the the three people that were the three peoples that were using it were Cheyenne, Ute, and Apaches, and that was really a sacred place. So, and it was really popular among everyone that would come to the Colorado Springs area to walk around and just be nice in the open, among those magnificent rock formation, and the city, which is really high in elevation, right over here, where I think we're around 71 or 7,200 feet above the sea level. So Charles Eliot Perkins purchased, I think, around 430 acres at that point, and then he declared it an open space for everyone, initially for family, friends, and everyone from the company and the city, but then he opened it for the public. That, by the way, what we are approaching here is one of the most photographed rock formation. This is the Balancing Rock, and it is really marvelous. We don't know. At least I don't know how the heck this stands. Geologists can tell you, how it's located, how it's standing, but there is a really tiny foundation there that holds that rock. And this to the left is the Steamboat Rock. So Tanya and I are driving here, but we're going to turn around and go back because we want you guys to see the other point of view for the Balancing Rock and the Steamboat Rock formations. So Charles Eliot Perkins wanted that to be a park for everyone. And when he passed away a couple of decades later, he had a wish, and he wanted to do something for the city. And it was really, how can I say, a something for the community and for everyone. So he wanted to have that open. So the family donated the park and that plot of land to the city of Colorado Springs. And that's the Balancing Rock. You can see it from this. You see how it's just this tiny spot that it's holding, and the Steamboat Rock. So they gave that plot of land, which is the initial location of the park, to the city of Colorado Springs with one requirement only. It will always be free, and it will always be open for the public, no matter what, what the political or economic situation is. That's a park for everyone. And they kept the promise. So the park is always open. Of course, sometimes when there is 3, 4, 5 feet of snow, they close it until they finish. They open it. They clear the roads. But all the other time, 12 months a year, it's open. That to the right over here is the trading posts. It's a fantastic place. I love. You guys know that I love those places, and because I need mugs, I need hats, all the tourist stuff that Tanya and I get when we travel. And you can see that the road where our Fred is riding on, it's constantly crossed between different trails, whether it's for hiking, whether it's horseback riding. It's really well organized. There are parking spots, there are restroom areas. There is places where you can have a picnic, with a table, with a small place to barbecue stuff, like a small grill. So the park is really well maintained, and it's not only maintained by the city of Colorado Springs, but there are volunteer groups that are helping this place stays always open and really keep the heart of the community in there. One of the most phenomenal group that will always be grateful to them is called Friends of Garden of the Gods. They are organizing events and actions for cleaning or for building additional trails or for organizing things around the park. So I can't really thank them enough, and we can't thank them enough for helping the city keep that place in such a fantastic um, uh, uh, condition. So right there is the in front of you at the moment is the to the left is the um, uh, North Gate Rock. Then is the then it's the Tower of Babel, and then the South Gate Rock. The North Gate Rock is really popular because one of the rock formation on top of the North Gate Rock is the Kissing Camel formation, which I have pictures of, and the presentation of Freddie actually. It was just in front of that rock formation, so you can see kissing camels on top of that rock. Right there, you can see it to the little left of that. But I'll put links. Actually, I will put the link to the Garden of the Gods website, and I'm also going to put a PDF link for all the trails and all the rock formations names and their location. So if you guys come here, I'm doing Tanya and I are doing that with the car, but it's really nice if you take the trails, because hiking is one of the things that everyone comes here for. I mean, you can spend anything from an hour to 8-9 hours walking here, and you'll still be on new trails that you're going to take. That's the North Gate with the kissing camels on top. That's that in front of it is our South Gate Rock. But right here, where the red card is the sleeping giant. So you can see the head, the jaw, and then the belly, then other parts, and then the knees and things like that. So especially when you're looking from towards that rock towards the sleeping giant from west to east, it is really visible. So we're going to go around that, and there is a really beautiful formation, which is really strange because it has a different color. It's called the gray rock, and we're going to go, and you can see how there are parks and other places where you can stop and work with all the there are people that are helping you allocate trails, or get a guided tour, or get history and information about the park. And you can do that at the visitor center, which we are going to drive by at the end of the episode, but also from the trading post, and you can call and you can get information or schedule a guided tour or schedule a guided hike. There are guides that will walk with you and talk about the rock formations, the history, the indigenous people, especially the Utes and the Cheyenne. Because right there, one second, right there is the Cheyenne Mountain complex that you've seen in so many movies. And that right here in the center, this is the gray rock, which is really, it's part of these, formations, but it's a different color. Nature has its own ways to be both curious and mysterious. So, and you can see all the trails and the paths around the road here where cars are going, but there are parkings and facilities that will actually help you enjoy a day or more out here. I don't think you can camp, but you can come. I think it opens at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it depending on the season, and that's the gray rock to the left. Depending on the season, it closes either at 9 in the evening in the winter or 10 in the evening in the summer. I can't tell you how many people we brought in here that are visiting us to actually experience this feeling that you can't really describe, because those are monumental rock formations and they're beautiful, and each one is so different. Uh, uh, when you look at it, it's kind of, um, you know, red sandstone, yeah, but see, look at that. And it's because it's so high in altitude, there are not that many things that are to the east of that, because that's where the prairie starts and finishes right there about 650 or 700 miles in Missouri. Over here, that's the east. But behind that, which you couldn't see because of the rock formation, is Pikes Peak, the backdrop where we introduced Freddie a couple days ago. So right here we're going out of the park, so you can see that's the main entrance. There is one other from the west side, but this is the east entrance of the park, and I'm trying to keep a slow pace over here. So of course there are regulations and you can't really drive fast, but we're going to that. Ahead of us is the visitor center. Interesting fact is that how the name Garden of the Gods came. It was two surveyors, Rufus Cable and Langton Beach, that were surveying the place, and one was joking that, oh, that will be a fantastic beer garden, and the other said, no, that is a place where actually only gods can assemble and can enjoy an adult beverage. Well, obviously they used a different word, but that's it. What was known to be said, and because of those two were joking, that's how they wrote it, where they visited, being surveyors, and what they saw. So the name Garden of the Gods stick because of the beer garden and because of the gods. So we have Garden of the Gods, and we are very thankful for that, because it's a magical place. The rock formations, by the way, continue north to the Erie Castle, and sometimes we're going to go there with Tanya and show it to you. But this is us entering the visitor center. By the way, this place is packed during Thursdays, Fridays, and the weekends. But we wanted to show it to you in a little more driving environment, so we can drive more normally. And we wanted to tell you that if you guys like what you see here, what we do, please comment, like, share, subscribe. We are here for you, and we are doing those things because we love the States, we love Colorado, and there is so much more to show. Thank you and goodbye.